Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where I would really like to rework our divisions a bit. Our divisions are garbage. We're just going with the default right now, and they're really quite bad. Very bad, in fact. So this is not necessarily what we want to go with, but for the moment, we really do need to get more research done before we can do that. So we want to get all of these, at least level 1 engineer companies done. The others are not necessary to make the actual divisions, but we certainly do need to wait a little bit for that. So the real question is, when do we do this? Well, I've already changed out our garrison template. I want to note that. So this is now our garrison template rather than our cavalry, and I want to make sure that we're set on that for our default garrison template. Where do we see that again? Here. Okay, so yeah, this is on garrison. Perfect. So that'll do. I've already changed that one, but we've got more that we need to change. That's for sure. And we unfortunately have both the infantry division and infantry brigade. Ultimately, I'm going to want these to be the same thing. Let's see. How do we decommission this template? We can't delete it. Oh, we decommission it like this, marking it as retired. It still exists. And I want to check. Are these the same? Oh, that's the garrison. Hang on. No, the infantry brigade is the much smaller one. So we're going to mark that as decommissioned. And the question is, will the people who are automatically using it... Oh, I want to change it out to a different icon so that I can see it more easily. We'll change it to, like, the skull. So looking at that, we can see there's an infantry brigade here. This template has been decommissioned. Okay. Noted. So we're going to need to filter those out of our army. My question is there an automated way to do this? Or do we have to manually do it? I'm not 100% sure. We'll see. For the time being, we'll tick on forward, and we need to get our engineers researched. So when will that be done? 20 days. Fantastic. So that'll be fine. We'll give that a bit. And our infantry brigades are absolutely going to be decommissioned here. So yeah, we'll take that support equipment. Cool. Fuel refining finishes up. And let's work on Concentrated Industry 5 at this time. That'll do. The super heavy tank chassis will be done soon enough. But what we're really waiting on here is that engineer company. So the question is, do we want to go for 20 width or 40 width divisions? That's a very good question. At least for our infantry. There's the engineer company done. We'll make propaganda heroes. Fantastic. And can we do anything else down over here? Not currently. Okay, noted. So we have this medium tank brigade, and we'll pop that over here. And we have this research slot completed. We're going to continue working on our support companies for the time being. But I want to, at this point, work on our infantry divisions. So we can see that we have 3 units of artillery here. I'm going to add another one. I think we're going to target a 40 combat width. We're not going to have a manpower issue with that. We may have a supply issue, but we can toss in logistics companies to help that. So we definitely need an engineer company. We need a support artillery company here. And I'm going to go with a motorized recon company. I think I am going to add a logistics company as well. We'll leave this slot open for now in case we feel like we need like support anti-air or support anti-tank later on, or even field hospitals if we start running into manpower issues. Those would all be possibilities, but for now we'll do that. And then from here, I'm just going to add infantry until we reach a combat width of 40. So that's 34, 36, 38, and 40, like this. So that'll cost us 70. But that will get all of those infantry good to go. Cool. Next up, I want to go through all of our armies here. And I want to get rid of all of our infantry brigades. This is comprised entirely of infantry brigades. That's a little grim. I was expecting it to be more like this, where that's 6. So I'm going to pull those out into a new army. And then we're going to pull from our reserves, we're going to pull infantry divisions, our own infantry divisions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Those will hop in here. There we go. And these guys, they're going to go back into... Well, actually, we could just completely disband them. We may want to do this a little bit at a time. So we disband those guys, and then we bring in the new ones. And then we'll come back and get, like, some of these. Let's disband, like, 4 of these. And then we'll pull in 4 infantry divisions from here. Like that. And we'll do this, like, 4 at a time. So that one's done. How many infantry brigades are here? Only 1. So that can definitely be gotten rid of. And we'll pull in an infantry division instead. So that would go here. There we go. Only 1 infantry brigade here as well. So that looks good. And we'll do that. And we'll pull in an infantry division. And then finally, we have this infantry division, but that's okay. I'm going to get rid of our 2 infantry brigades that are here. And we're going to pull in 2 infantry divisions. Like that. Okay, so that'll be good. We are going to need additional work here. Definitely. But we'll give that some time. Cool. And it'll take a while for these to get built up to their full level. That's understood. We can grab Improv Expert or Guerrilla Fighter here. I feel like movement bonus on land is really good. We'll go ahead and take that. And we're not going to work on our tank divisions for the time being, because I feel like we need tech for that. Specifically modern tanks. We're quite close to getting modern tanks, and if we go into our tech here, we can probably work on... Let's actually take a look. How far ahead of time is that? 1.2 years? Okay. For the time being, it's okay. We could, however, get rid of our standard infantry here, and we could, in theory, switch over to motorized. Something like that. That's a possibility. Okay. So this would be about increasing our speed, of course. We would want our speed to be higher than this, but our tanks suck. There's no doubt about that. So do we want our tanks to be 40 width? I don't think so. I think our tanks being 20 width is fine. We can evaluate that later, but we could add in additional tanks here. I don't think there's any value to that at this moment. However, I do think another motorized infantry here is okay. So something kind of like this. Sure, let's get that going. And that probably means that our trucks are going to need a lot more. Yes, that is very accurate. So I'm going to switch us up to 30 factories working on trucks. We may also be able to queue up additional military factories. Is that true? Not yet. Okay, noted. So we'll get that going. And that should be okay once we get all of our reinforcements out here. Now we're going to have to continue to swap brigade units out here as these infantry start to arrive. That'll take time. I wouldn't mind actually sending an additional 8 down over here. They don't have to be from other locations, right? This template is decommissioned. This is not our template. Noted. So we're going to grab these that are definitely ours. And that's 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, I'm going to move those into here. Their goal, for the moment, is simply to come down here and area defense that. That's just to get them in the area. So they'll get started moving immediately. Perfect. I don't intend for them to actually do too much there. I just want them to start traveling. Anything else that we can do here? We could repair the Panama Canal, but that's not a thing that we're interested in at this moment. We could... Wait. We could blow the Suez Canal. But that's not actually a valid event. We could start doing a region-wide industrial integration. That does cost too much, though, so that's okay. It should be fine. We're going to start flowing a lot of troops into here. And we're a little concerned about what that's going to do to our supply lines. There's no doubt about that. We are going to finish up this construction on 1 December, so under a month. And that will be very good. Field Hospital 2 finishes up, and this infantry can definitely go into our reserve. And we have a research slot available. We can certainly start to work on, say... we could grab our Signal Company 3, or, hypothetically, we could start work on Modern Engine. We're going to need a lot of army experience to get our tank designed and to get our tank completely set up. We can recruit an operative. I don't really care who we recruit right now. It's reasonably fine, but we're not actually working on these upgrades, so we should do that. Cool. So for the time being, we're going to be struggling a little bit down here. The question is, how long before these guys arrive? They're almost here already, actually. There's a couple more companies finishing up. That was the maintenance companies, which we may want to eventually toss into our tank brigade. Since that's only going to be 20 width, I think that's fine instead of the logistics company. So that should be absolutely no problem. We're going to strengthen home. Army experience, just a flat 25. I like it. And we can also work on... Oh yeah, we're going to do Signal Company. Cool. So there we go. That's great. How are we doing on our construction? We're almost done constructing here. That's going to be done again on 1 December. So that's only a couple days away. 5 base stability looks good. Okay, this is now complete. So we now have a supply depot here. We're going to motorize that. Beautiful. I'm going to unmotorize this depot. That's not actually necessary to have that be motorized. There we go. Now, how are we doing on our trucks? We need 11,000 trucks. We're producing 5 per day. So obviously, we're going to work on that. We need a lot of infantry equipment and a lot of artillery as well. And a lot of tanks, but we're going to be swapping over our tanks eventually. So this is something that is needed to be worked on. We are working on it. Those factories will finish up, and our production is getting better and better all the time. Our manpower is declining a little bit. That's unsurprising, considering we just swapped over our setup. And I want to check over here. How many of these guys have actually arrived? Looks like 3 out of 8. That's probably insufficient. We've got another 2 here, so that would bring us up to 5. And I'm not sure where the other 3 are currently. But presumably they're around. Okay. So it is, of course, these infantry brigades that they're going to be replacing. They'll get there soon enough. 5 of the 8 has arrived. 6, 7. So that's going to be 7 of 8. They're not ready yet. I'm not sure where the 8th is. That might be the one I missed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. So they've all arrived here. We're now going to assign them here. So there's 31 here, obviously. We need to get rid of these 12. And so we shall. Get out of here. So that brings us down to 19. So we have 12 infantry divisions and 7 tank brigades. We need 8 and 16. So we need 4 additional here. And we kind of don't have them right now. But that's okay. We'll bring those in later on. So we can grab Logistics Company 3. Cool. And we are short a few troops over here, or rather a few divisions over here. But we should have far more troops now than we did previously. So that's good. This Lend-Lease is fine. How are we doing on support equipment anyway? Do we actually need support equipment at this time? I believe we should. Resistance to occupation. We will eventually need support equipment. Do we need it? I don't know. We'll toss this in for now. Yeah, we do need it. Okay, so we're going to toss like 3 factories at it for now. Modern Engine finishes up. And we're going to grab Field Hospital 3 and Maintenance Company 3. We're just continuing to tear through these support companies for right now. This is a medium tank brigade. That goes in here. And now we just need, for this army group, we need 4 infantry divisions. We can definitely fund industrial improvement. There we go. Cool. Ah, this guy can get a new trait. Reinforce rate or division recovery rate. I guess we'll take organization first. I don't love it. Oh, we can also take charismatic. We don't have to choose. Cool. So that'll do for now. We're not really breaking out of here, but we're not trying to just yet. We have our toehold, and we're working on coming online. So now we're starting to produce support equipment as well. That's good. We're going to need more, but it's fine for now. We have this unassigned division here that can go into our reserves. That's not one of our divisions exactly. This template is... Is this one of our divisions? No, this is a combat width of 30. This is not one of our divisions. So we're not going to use it in a frontline capacity if we can help it. So at this point, we are going to grab MP3. There we go. More infantry equipment coming in. That's always nice. And we're continuing to ramp up our manufacturing capacity. Concentrated Industry 5 finishes. At this point, I would very much like to take streamlined line. I'm not planning on constantly switching around what we're making. So the production efficiency cap is what we're most interested in. And the growth is as well good. So we'll get that underway. And that, of course, means that we can queue up additional dockyards and military factories. I'm not going to do that at this moment. That might be something I do off camera. But for now, it's fine. This infantry division definitely goes into our Coast Guard. And so does this one. This tank brigade, on the other hand, this can start heading out to our other army groups. Cool. Okay, so that should be reasonably fine. I do want to swap one of these over to working on tanks, probably the one working on Engineer Company 2. But I want to get these up to their top level soon enough. Medium Tank Brigade can definitely come in over here. We've got another one as well. Cool. 2 improved artillery. Sounds good. And there's Engineer Company 2 finishing. There's also an infantry division. So that will go in over here. And we will now start to research the modern armor protection. Okay, so by the time that's done, we're hoping that the modern tank chassis will be close enough to get that started. It's 0.72 years away, which the modern tank armor won't take that long. But we'll see how it looks. Okay, there's a medium tank brigade that can definitely move in over here. We have a free factory. Wow. So we have all of this filled up now. That's beautiful. I'm going to toss another 20 on infantry equipment, another 20 on artillery, another 20 on trucks. I'm going to toss up to 15 on support equipment, and I'm going to toss another 30 onto medium tanks for now. This will get changed. But for now, that'll do. And we're just going to be cranking out the factories. So that'll be good. Okay, so this tank brigade can definitely head in over here. That'll also mean that our recruitment is really going to speed up. So at a certain point, we're not going to be needing all of these tank brigades anymore in training, but this is not that point. Okay, we need a new national focus. Just free infrastructure? Sounds good to me. Another tank brigade. Looks good. And another tank brigade. Cool. So that'll all be good. Looks like we've gained a little bit of ground down over here, but we're not really trying to. I would like to get us a little bit more infantry, but we're running pretty low on our equipment for that. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So we should be wrapping up our modern armor protection here pretty soon. It is already half done. And that's great. Our Logistics Company 3 is going to be finishing soon. How are we doing down here logistically? I'm not surprised by this. I'm a little surprised that this has a supply cap of 360 and that this has a supply cap of 35. But, okay. Interesting. Definitely interesting there. We do have more medium tank brigades and an infantry division. The infantry division definitely comes out over here. I'm going to assign all of these medium tank brigades here. There we go. Logistics Company 3 finishes. And at this point, we wouldn't necessarily mind grabbing Improved Infantry Equipment 3 to max out our infantry. So let's get that underway. And another infantry division to toss in here. And a medium tank brigade to finish out this army. I like it. Are these guys not traveling? Apparently they're not. Hang on. Where are you? You're up over here. Ah, it's because of supplies in this area. Sure, that makes sense, actually. We've not worked on supplies out over here at all. And that is something we probably should do, but right now, it's not our focus. Okay, another medium tank brigade can start going in here. Cool. Field Hospital Maintenance Company. Looks good. And let's, at this point, I really want to get that modern tank chassis, but I'm going to wait on it still. I want to continue working on our support companies, getting those completely done. Cool. Lend-Lease looks fine. There's modern armor protection done. So now this is 0.58 years ahead of time. Okay. Oh, we did get that half done. Let's finish up the super heavy tank chassis. I was like, hang on, I remember researching that. But I guess we switched off of it. Okay. So, an infantry division here and a medium tank brigade. That's fine. This army group is now complete. That's fantastic. I'm also going to cut this down at this point to recruiting 8 divisions at a time. There we go. We are still going to need a bunch more, but that's fine. Cool. How are we doing on our production? Things appear to be improving. Yes, with the exception of tanks, but I'm not too concerned about tanks right now. Okay, so just the one tank brigade here. Looks good. National Highway finishes, and I would definitely like to grab Signal Company 4 here. There we go. And we could go for develop Armenian Philippines, but we need Commonwealth ties for that, and we can't do that. Yeah, that requires Commonwealth ties. That's awkward. The Commonwealth doesn't exist. So we kind of can't do anything else over here. I was under the impression that we'd be able to get over here, but no, we can't. So that's interesting for sure. So that's all done. In which case, we need to come down to our continuous focuses. For the moment, construction engineering. We'll get that underway. Cool. We can also look potentially at doing more development here and expanding our intelligence agency. I always forget to keep this going. There we go. Fantastic. So that'll do for now. We have this medium tank brigade that needs to be assigned. Consider it done. And this infantry division that I don't care about. Cool. So that's all looking very good. More medium tank brigades finishing up. All expected. For the time being, we're not even too concerned about getting that done right now, like getting that assigned over. It's not strictly necessary. So supplies-wise, how are we looking over here now? It's not literally the worst thing I've ever seen. I would not mind building a naval base here. And then connecting it by rail. Connecting it by rail. Like that. Let's get that underway. And that will help things down over here as well. So that looks good. Passive defense finishes up, and we're definitely going to continue to work on passive defense. There we go. And we have these divisions here. We'll just assign these guys over like so, I guess. That'll be fine. And this guy can be assigned over. Cool. And with that, it is about time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, Next episode, we're going to get our tank divisions properly set up. Those are not done by any stretch of the imagination. We're going to need to get our tanks properly under production and get swapped over to our new division template. That's going to cost a lot of army experience, but luckily we're gaining a lot of army experience, so it should be okay. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, ALS Gamer, Kentuin, James, Shadowwolf, MLohan80, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Unisil, Kadra, Rogue Corvid, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.